What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to 49 Faithfully. We're your hosts, Miriah Lee and Teran Lewis. And today we're joined by our very special guest. You guys know him as Tony, the GM. Let's go, fellas. What's up? How you guys doing? Happy Wednesday.
Doing great. How about you, Tony?
I'm doing great. I got my draft hat. I'm ready to go.
Awesome.
Very
Very nice.
excited. I get to wear it, and a lot to cover tonight. A lot to cover. It's gonna be interesting. Thank you for having me, and I'm looking forward to having a really solid show with you guys.
Sounds good.
Thank you, as always, for being here. We don't even plan on Tony being here anymore. I just send him the video, the same that I send it to TL. Once I'm done making it, I send it off to both of them. And, I'm just as surprised as anybody when I log in and, Tony's sitting there. So, yeah, here we are. Chat, what's up? Welcome. Appreciate all of you guys for being here. The first giveaway, hashtag FF. From now on, I'm going to try to remember to do the first giveaway as hashtag FF each show for Faithfully Fam FF. So from now on, when you guys first come to the show, hashtag FF for the first giveaways. Let me go through real quick what we're giving away. So the first giveaway, we're going to start off with this man himself, P. Willie. And we got Debo Diamond Hands. So that'll be the first set of giveaways. The second one, we have a numbered Drake Jackson rookie card. We have Brandon Ayuk. Hashtag PayBA. You know the deal. And CMC Fireworks. So that'll be for the second giveaway. And then we're ending the show with, we got, the artwork of these two goats here. And remember, like usual, these are signed, numbered, all that good stuff. We're also ending the show with Brock Purdy hype and a sticker from my guy, Inspector Dabbit. Make sure you guys hit him up for any faithful gear that you need. I do now have my own code for when you go to his website and you're ordering gear. You can put, we have our own code now, hashtag 49faithful, and you'll get $5 off your purchase. So if you go to the description of this video, the link to his website and all of that's in there, the code's in there. So yeah, make sure you guys check him out. He's making good stuff. Hashtag FF first giveaway. I see you all in here. What's up, Kali? Let me go through real quick. Say what's up to the homies. We got Throwback in the house. We got McNiner. What's up? Joel, what's good? Daniel Berry. Let me go up here. This is my second show that I've done on this new laptop. So I don't have a regular mouse, which I need to get. So it's really weird trying to use my finger on this shit. So I get used to it. Don, what's up, Don? Hope you're doing well. Let's see who else we got in here. Dustin, what's up, Dustin? Let me see. We got B Cats Win. B Cats Win. What's up? Welcome. I believe it's your first time I've seen you here, so appreciate you coming through. We got David Corona. What's up, Corona? Cardcast. Hey, Cardcast, you're one of the people I actually found. I mailed out most of the giveaways, but I found this little stack of giveaways. I guess I was hiding from myself. And you're one of them that has one in there. So next mail out, I'll send it to you. So if you guys did get your cards and you're one of the ones that think that you're missing something, you probably are. Lexa Love, welcome. I believe it's your first time as well. So if so, appreciate it. We got Maria. our faithful Kansas City Chiefs fan in the house. Appreciate you for being here as always. And yeah, anybody that's watching that's not in the comments that watches back on replay, we appreciate you guys so much for being here. Let's get into this. Hashtag FF first giveaway. We'll draw that in a few. TL, you had talked about that you put out a tweet about something that you wanted to speak about. Why don't you go ahead and read us that tweet and let's get into it.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I pretty much just tweeted that. I've been seeing a lot of stuff on the timeline because, now that we're only we'll say 15 days before the draft gets here. A lot of people are like, man, like what's going to happen with Ayuk? It's been quiet as a church mouse in the organization for weeks. After we had I know we signed that tight end yesterday or the day before, or whatever. But other than that, it's been real quiet. And it's just been discussion of like Brandon Ayuk. They're sitting here talking about how people are starting to panic. I think just saying, oh, we just need to go ahead and trade him. If he's asking for 25 million, I think that's too much. Hey, do you want to say something real quick, Tony?
No, you're good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're talking about 25 million is too much, and we're already paying Debo. Well, Brandon Ayuk's paycheck has nothing to do with Debo, nothing. So people want to sit here and say like, oh, we have to pay Brock Purdy, which I agree. We do have to pay Brock Purdy. But the fact of the matter is, Brandon Ayuk is up next. And you need to find a way to keep your best players. And I don't care what nobody says. Yes, you can argue, on certain days he wasn't the first option, second option, third, sometimes even fourth. But at the same time, we sit here as a fan base. We know how good he is. We look at the eye test. We know that man is open 95.9% of the time, and the man deserves his payday. And and people love to say like, well, I don't think he's a top 5 receiver. Well, honestly, you don't know that because our offense is 30th in the league in passing the ball. We like to run. So to sit here and say that Brandon Ayuk doesn't deserve his money, he's asking for too much, but Brock Purdy deserves his. I don't like that as our fan base is saying that because we know, you know, Brock Purdy had a good season, Ayuk had a good season, and they don't have the seasons they had without each other. You put Ayuk on a happy team, a Cincinnati, a Buffalo, a Kansas City, you can say he's probably going to be a top 5 because he's going to be open all the time. So, and I told you this, Tony and Miriah, last time we had our show and, on our days we're off, I was like, look, people are still looking at the 2021 Debo. He's not coming back, fam. He's not. That season he had, is history. Will he do it again? Who knows? But I seriously doubt it. We got CMC now who does this. And then for you guys to sit here and say, like, well, Debo deserved to get his money because he put the team on his back and this is net. Since he's gotten that paycheck, he hasn't done that. And I think that Brandon Ayuk is hitting his prime where, like, we can argue, like I said, he goes to another team, he can be top 5. So I don't know. I know how you feel, Miriah. You're a diehard Brandon Ayuk fan. I want to say this, you say this all the time. Shanahan picked his guy. He got him in the first round. He was missing on receivers. Yeah, he got D, but what I'm saying is, the Jalen Hurts, the Dante Pettis and stuff like that. He got his guy where he molded. He taught him to be the receiver he wanted him to be. The blocking, the route running. He was pretty much groomed to be who he is today. And for you to let him play here for 4 years and just be like, oh, I can't pay you now, would be shameful. So, Tony, I'd like to hear from you because I know you had some excellent points about it. And, me and Tony said this the last show and people were like, what? You guys are crazy. I'm still under the impression, and I hope it doesn't happen. I think he gets traded. I do, just because of the money that's going to be allocated to him. So, but like I said, though, the people that are saying like, oh, trade him, he doesn't deserve it. That's foolishness. He deserves his money. Calvin Ridley got 23 million a year, and he's significantly better than him.
Yeah.
So if you can get 23 million, you guys are trying to say that the market for wide receiver is not at 25. I respectfully disagree. Give Brandon Ayuk his money because he deserves it just as much as Brock Purdy is going to deserve his. Go ahead, Tony.
Yeah. Two sides. You're going to get the 49er fan, and you're going to get the business side of the 49ers. 49er fan, I want Ayuk here. Definitely. It's only going to help Brock Purdy develop into the future. Big extension for Brock Purdy coming up. Nice extension, 5 years, where they can maneuver the money around to make it work. the fan, I want to keep them all together. Let's make one big run. Keep the team intact. Absolutely. But now the real life and the business side kicks into this conversation. And there's no way. And I actually just looked again to get the exact number of the cap situation for 2025 on Spot Rack, and they are $30.2 million over the cap. Now, before I go further into that, you had Debo at 24.2, Hargrave at 28.2, Kittle 21.8. Those were the top three salaries I just wrote down real quick. I think Trent Williams was up there. But the problem is, and we talked about this briefly before, I cannot see a team invest in potentially $60 million on paper in wide receivers when they are not a pass-first mentality team. They are a run-first mentality team. That's just the way I see it, unfortunately. I'm on the fence. There's a part of me saying that I think truly Ayuk wants to be here. He wants to be a part of this. They all want to be together, but there's only so much that you can do. And the hindrance right now, it's not the Ayuk contract. It's what Brock Purdy is going to be looking for in 2025. So the bright spot of this, and there is a bright spot, in 2026, they're under the cap by $83+ million. So now, that's with Bosa's big money hitting. That's with Warner's big money hitting. You know, another thing you got to keep into consideration in 2025, you have a third of your secondary not under contract. So you got to be strategic about this. It's going to be business decisions. I do think the 49ers want him back on an extension. I do think the 49ers do have a number that it's the fail-safe line. If it's at there or close to it, they're going to pull the trigger and they're going to do a deal. If it's way above it and it's like not by like $1 million, it's multiple millions of dollars above it and multiple millions more guaranteed, I just can't see the 49ers doing that. Now, the flip side of that is they could do it if they choose to move on from other players, right? This was phase one of prepping for Brock Purdy, the 2024 offseason. They took it on the chin. They cut Eric Armstead, okay? They took a cap hit this year. There's going to be a slight cap hit next year. But essentially, they're getting 16.8, I think maybe, $1 million back in cap space from moving on from Eric Armstead. Mm-hmm. And then there's another cap hit next year with a little bit more cap space, and then they're free and clear of him. But I'm just going to keep it real. I'm not a fan of pushing money down the road. And I don't know if you guys caught on to this, but a lot of these guys that they're signing this year, they're shown as 2-year deals. But some of these deals have 1 and 2 year void years to hide money and get it out, where if they choose to move on, they're going to take a cap hit in 26, 25, and 26. So they have to be careful because now you're not talking about signing a $25 million player. You're talking about signing a $40 to $50 million player that is the face of your franchise and your quarterback. So they're going to have to be slick, and I think this draft, we'll talk about the draft later or another show, but this draft is key for that. You got to pay attention to what they do. They can't go with every time the Niners make a pick when they take the best player available, they wind up doing well, right? When they start analyzing and say, shit, I'm going to trade Buckner, but we're going to go take Kinlaw. No good.
That's where you get in trouble.
Exactly.
Yep.
You got to stick to your board, true to your board. And that's why I'm going to be straightforward to you. I would not be shocked at all. And I know this is a little bit off topic, and I'll stop it here. They don't go tackle if their top guy on that board isn't a tackle. But now with what we just spoke about, right? I just mentioned about moving on potential of a wide receiver, potentially a defensive tackle, and potentially a tight end. if they want to keep those two wide receivers together. You can't keep anybody. You can't keep everybody anymore. It's done. Those days are done. This 2024 going into 25, this is the final year to keep that together. I do think the window still will be open, but keeping this nucleus together, you saw it. Year one. This is year one of the retool and the reorg, if you want to say. Armstead's no longer here. So what's next year going to be? What position group is going to be the target? And to be honest with you, I think the draft might tell you what position group what might be the target.
Absolutely.
But I would love to see Ayuk here. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I think he's a perfect piece to match with Purdy going into the future. Ayuk, I think, is only 24, 25 years old. I think he's still very young. So 5 years is not a concern for me. He's not a type of Debo player where he's physical, running through people, running over people, taking poundings. So there's going to be a slight more longevity to Ayuk than there would be with Debo, hence the 3-year extension versus potentially a 5-year extension or a 4-year extension using this year. And just there was one more thing. As far as giving Debo the money and him not living up to the expectations of what they paid him, the problem is this. They paid Debo before they brought CMC here. So they kind of shot themselves in the foot, if you will, by bringing CMC here, which ultimately devalued Debo to this offense. So they jumped at the extension because they pretty much had to at the time, right? I mean, I think we could all agree about that.
Yeah.
They had to keep him because he did everything. But then they go out and trade for CMC. And now people are saying, well, he's not living up to it. Well, he's not really running the ball out of the backfield anymore. He's not running as many reverse jet sweeps. He's really they controlled him. They tamed him. Now, is the plan to try to extend his career? That could be. That very well could be. You split the loads between the two of them. But to sit here and really crack on Debo, like I'm not saying you guys, but there's some people saying that he's garbage. He got his payday and he's done. Yeah, he's not what he used to be, but is it because of who they brought in? I think all of us on this panel, the three of us, could sit here and say, this offense runs through CMC. And there's no doubt about it.
Absolutely.
So that's where we're at with that. And that's just I just wanted to point those couple things out. And it's a tough situation. When you hit, this is the problem. Like the Niners never used to hit on draft picks and never extend people because they drafted so bad back in the day. But look who you're extending. All your highest paid players, except for Trent Williams, were all drafted.
Absolutely. Yep.
Except for and Javon Hargrave. Sorry. Everyone was drafted. But this is what happens when you have successful drafting. I mean, and they're not hitting at a 90% hit rate. They're in the 40s, 50s, but still they're hitting in positions where when you have to go flip and pay these people, it's costing them big money. So that's where I'm at. I'll shut up now.
No, it's good. You make some excellent points.
Yeah. Before I get into what I want to talk about, let's draw this first drawing. Hashtag FF if you're not in there yet. I see there's only a few people in there. So, and last week also I noticed after the show ended that people were trying to enter the giveaway when they're watching on Twitter/X, or another platform. Unfortunately, it doesn't transfer over. So I can't see any of the comments that you're leaving, on that platform, and it doesn't calculate your, entries if you enter them there. So unfortunately, you would have to come to YouTube and, come to the show and enter the giveaways that way. So I didn't want people to just think like I'm ignoring you and not letting you enter or whatever. But the system, it automatically draws, the people that enter. And unfortunately, it won't draw you from, X yet. Maybe they'll work on that sooner or later, but we'll see. Okay, Tony, no worries. All right. So hashtag FF. Let's draw this first giveaway. We're going to draw Debo first and then Patrick Willis. Let me add this up here. All right. Let me show you guys again real quick. So Debo, I don't know, I can't see, so hopefully you guys can see it. And Patrick Willis for the first ones. All right, good luck. Debo is Ollie.
Good job, Collie.
Congrats.
It's the first time he's won on our show.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think I've sent him stuff before.
Mm.
All right, and Patrick Willis goes to Dustin. Congrats, Dustin. All right. Let me set this up real quick, and then I'll give you guys the code for the second giveaway. It's going to be so I don't want you guys to enter it before I set it up, so I probably won't grab it. It's going to be hashtag smile for the second giveaway. Hashtag smile. And this is going to be for, let me just show you real quick. The second giveaway is for CMC Fireworks. We got Brandon Ayuk, little shiny guy there. And we got this numbered Drake Jackson rookie card. So that's the second giveaway. So get in there, hashtag smile.
Smile.
So let me change this real quick.
Have you ever seen that movie, Smile?
No. There's a
That
movie
movie's
called
great.
Smile?
Yeah, it really, yeah.
Scary?
It's a horror movie, yeah.
I think I
Go
saw
figure.
that,
Yeah.
Go figure that one.
Yeah. Smile, a horror movie.
All right, hashtag smile. Good luck, everybody. So, and I told you this backstage, you guys, when you talk about TL, that people are saying, oh, well, Brandon, his role, yada, yada, he don't deserve, whatever amount of money. And it's like, and you brought this up too, Tony, what Debo is being paid. And it's just like, we're paying Debo now for jobs he's not even doing, and it's like, you could say, oh, they're trying to preserve him or whatnot, but they paid him specifically in that contract. If you play as this position, you run the ball so many times, you do this, you're going to get this much more money. So he's getting paid to do those jobs that now, like you said, they went and got CMC. Now, if that's because Debo, we saw what kind of year he came back after getting paid. So did they go get CMC because Debo's not living up to what they need him to be? Like, why are you going to get essentially the same player if the guy on your team that's being paid to be a superstar is doing what they're supposed to be doing? So when we're talking about, oh, let's trade away Ayuk, the guy that can be a number one wide receiver, and keep the guy that's a number two and a number two running back, essentially. Why? Like, he's not going to be helping elevate our quarterback at this point in his career. Like you said, CL, that Debo that we saw before he got paid, he ain't coming back. We're not seeing that Debo anymore. He can get up there at the press conferences and say, oh, I'm going to be different this year, and I'm going to be this, and I'm going to be that. Well, you're not.
The problem is, right, is like good fans that know football observe things, right? Debo doesn't do the little things. Like, if the ball's not going his way, if he doesn't go, if he's not the top target in the play call, he's very, I'm not going to say lazy, lackadaisical, we'll say.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's not a full sprint. It's not running with intent. His blocking at times is a little suspect, but there's times where he does do good blocks, and he actually seals down on a crack, and he sets the edge for the back to go outside. So it's like he runs hot and cold. But I'm going to say this, and it's not because I have a Debo figure right behind me, and he's one of my favorite players on this team. I think, in my honest opinion, he's probably the most dangerous guys. I would say top 2. I would say top 1. The most dangerous guy with the ball in his hands in the open field. And that's what the Niners like, and that's what they want. You don't pay somebody for what they did. You pay them when they do their contracts for what you expect and project them to do. That's how you negotiate, right? He was a second-round pick. He wasn't making money. His agent's coming in, well, look what he did. That's fine. The Niners are going to say, okay, you're going to hit me with the look what he did. This is what we expect. So it's two-sided. And I just feel like if he could be that every down guy and they could somehow – it even comes to route running, right? Debo at South Carolina State was never a route runner. The 49ers knew this, all right? And that's why everyone's jumping on this Malachi Corley. Oh, he's Debo part 2. You're right. He's Debo part 2.
Player, yep.
He has no route tree at Western Kentucky.
No, slants and screens and same type of repertoire.
Everyone's freaking on him to replace Debo next year, draft him this year, replace him next year. Okay, that's fine. But don't think you're getting a route runner and like a Ayuk or a KJ type route runner. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I think the 49ers are going to go into a transition. I think we spoke about this on the previous show that I was on with you guys. And I think the first phase of the transition, and not as far as the roster economics and how it's built, I think you're going to see a transition to more away from the depending on the jet sweeps and the wide back player to more of a conventional offense.
Yes.
Because it's going to be still centered around that piece that you traded for to try to be the 1A, 1B. So that's where I'm just at with that. And it's not, listen, it's not a knock about it. It's like every year you have to evolve, right? The defense needed to evolve. They lost D'Amico Ryans. They brought in Wilkes. Didn't work out well, right? I'm not going to go into the scapegoat thing. No. But there's clearly a trust issue. And I think we as the fan base could say our defense didn't look the same as it did years prier.
For sure.
Than it did last year.
Yeah.
So they made a decision. They moved on, right? Because what happens? That's one full season of tape that an opposing offensive coordinator has. Now they can game plan and project and try to strategize off of what they saw. Wrong.
Yeah.
What do? You keep it in-house. You go back to core principles, and then you bring in the Staley to try to say, hey, let me sprinkle some of this into this. I understand it's the same thing as what Wilkes did, but the problem between Wilkes and Shanahan and Wilkes and I just said his freaking name.
Staley,
thank you. I think there's trust between him and Staley.
Yeah.
So that's that issue. But I think just like I'm trying to prove the point with evolving, you're going to see a slight to take that trajectory going forward. Okay, now we're going to pay Brock Purdy effective 2026, 2025, depending on the structure. Now we're going to put the ball in Brock Purdy's hands more and make those throws. We're going to surround them with route runners instead of gadget players. Don't get me wrong. It's not bad to have a gadget player whatsoever.
At all.
I hope they draft one. Not high, but I hope they add a piece that could do it. Even Christian McCaffrey could do it still. But I really hope they keep the team intact this year. I got a feeling they're going to try to push Ayuk to stay on that final, that 50-year option. And then after that, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen because I just can't see being $30 million over the cap. Yeah, sure. Everyone will say you can move on from Debo and Hargrave and you're under the cap. Yeah, sure. But there's going to be penalties for moving on. Yeah. When you move on from them, how much of a hit you're going to take and how much freedom, relief you're going to get. It's just not like one click of a button. Oh, we just erased $30 million.
Yeah,
okay, exactly. We're good. Doesn't happen like that.
Yeah, and before we move
Yeah.
on, yeah, I will say too is think about Debo, and we're not trying to knock him or any of that. We're just saying that like he was paid to do what Christian McCaffrey is doing basically, and Christian McCaffrey is doing it well. And you said it, Tony. Maybe they're trying to preserve his body, which is a good thing. But then just imagine him doing what CMC is doing because then he'd probably be hurt more. Let's be honest here. He missed 3 games last year without doing the jet sweeps, without being in the backfield, stuff like that. So I agree with you. I think they're looking more of trying to get like a more conventional receiver that can go out there and run routes and stuff like that because you can see Brock Purdy, he thrived on that. Ayuk had his best season, being that filthy route runner that gets open, and Brock Purdy's such a good processor. I mean, he was money with Ayuk. So, I wouldn't even be surprised, like we were talking about the draft. We're talking about like if we get a receiver, somebody like a Lad McConkey. I wouldn't be surprised if he's picked at 31 because we have, if he's the best player available on their board or whatever the case may be. So, yeah, like I said, it's not a knock, but to sit there and say that, oh, Ayuk, he doesn't deserve $25 million if that's even what he's asking for. I've heard he's asking for 27.5. So the 25 is maybe on the lower end, but to say he doesn't deserve it is foolishness if you're just going off of stats. Because like we said, Tony and Miriah, we're the 30th ranked team when it comes to passing the football. And you got somebody thriving like Ayuk with 60, 70 less targets, but still giving you great production. To say that he's not a number one is foolishness. And that's all I got.
Yeah, let me say what's up to a couple people that I saw have joined. We got Sin in the house. What's up, Sin? Appreciate you coming through. We have Rod. I can't get to these freaking comments that fast on this stupid thing. It's so fucking annoying. Let me find one. Here we go. There he is. There he is. What's up, Rod? I see you. We got Miss Debbie in the house. What's up, Miss Debbie? Hope you're doing well. The most wonderful of Miss Debbies. She's such a blessing to my life, and I'll continue to tell you guys each show that I see her because it should be known how wonderful she is. What's up, Leon? They're all talking about the movie Smile now.
Smile, yeah.
It says Smile's marketing team was crazy. Paid actors to stand behind home plate at baseball games and creepy smile at the camera all game. Brilliant.
Yeah.
What's up, Wheezy? And yeah, everybody that I missed that's here, what's up to you all? I appreciate you guys all being here. Hashtag smile to get into the second set of giveaways. Red Jet Shell, what's up? She's looking so fancy there in her picture. I even had to put it up on my screen so I could zoom in and see. So I'm like, is that her? What's she wearing there?
That's funny.
She's all fancy. I hope everybody is doing wonderful. And yeah, let's get into the 49ers had their local pro day today. Some names that we can talk about. Let me share this real quick with y'all so we can see the people that were there. Quite a few. I think there was, how many? 44 players. Man. And I think 4 veterans as well, with an interesting name on there. The 4 veterans actually is 1 quarterback and 3 tight ends. So they're really after a tight end because we saw them signed, like you said. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but they signed a tight end a couple days ago. We obviously know they tried to get that tight end from the Lions, and obviously that fell through. And now they're bringing in 3 veteran tight ends. Let's add this up here. All right. Let's see.
3 tight ends. That says a lot about what they feel about. Yeah, that says a lot what they feel about Latu and Willis.
Yeah. So shout out to Steph Sanchez for making up this doc here where she has you see these tabs, all different, where the 49ers, who the 49ers have met with at each thing. This is the local pro day list of people, the guys that were there. You can see they're by position. So, the quarterback there, we got 3 running backs, a whole group of wide receivers. One name that I want to talk about is this one right here, Tariq Owens. So we'll talk about that in a minute. Only a couple, 2 O-line, quite a few D-line, few linebackers. And then if you look at the secondary, quite a few cornerbacks and safeties here. I don't know about, this situation here, long snappers, punters, and kickers, but, I do like this, though, because, it gives these guys an opportunity. You see the list right here of where all these guys are from, and most of them coming from California, right?
Yeah.
And so it's these guys that aren't from these big schools that don't normally have, an opportunity to, get their self out there, So by the 49ers putting on this pro day, not only for them, but there's other teams that will then either be there or look at the tape and then can see these players as well, So I really like that. But yeah, Tariq Owens, and down here is the 4 vets. So quarterback Kellen Mond, obviously out of Texas A&M. He was drafted in the 3rd round in 2021. Tight end Curtis Hodges from Arizona State. He was an undrafted free agent in 2022. Tight end Hunter Camp Moyer out of Oregon was undrafted in 2021. And then tight end Tommy Sweeney out of Boston College, he was a 7th round pick in 2019. And today, there's I don't know if you guys have seen it. There was a clip going around of Kellen Mond throwing a pass to Tariq Owens, who, if you guys don't know, is T.O.'s son, Terrell Owens' son. And I'm like, he's looking really nice. And then after, the pro day wrapped up, I saw comments coming out. About Tariq having a really good day during the pro day. So shout out to him. Looking at this list, anybody that jumps off to you guys, anybody that you guys want to talk about?
Yeah. I had expressed and really been vocal about the quarterback room, and I was happy when they got Joshua Dobbs. Like I thought, that was a good pickup. But I'm not high on Brandon Allen. And Kellen Mond is somebody who I had coming out. I think he came out the same year as like Trevor Lawrence and all them, in that draft class. I think I had him like a day 3 pick, like round 4 or 5. And he, like you said, I didn't even know he was out of the league. I thought he was like a 3rd stringer somewhere. But the fact that he's already out of the league, I wouldn't mind bringing him in for a workout. Like, and if you're not going to draft a quarterback, which I think they will with 10 picks, but if you don't and you want to save a draft pick to maybe go somewhere else, I wouldn't mind just picking him up. He's young.
Yeah.
He's only like 24, 25 years old. You can come in, if he shows you something, if he's good, like I wouldn't mind him taking the 3rd string quarterback over Brandon Allen, if so. You know what I mean? Like he has talent. It's just, he just was one of those guys who phased out really quick. Like I said, I thought he was still in the league somewhere as a 3rd stringer, but man, yeah, like if he shows you something, bring him in. And then, like I said, save a draft pick, and you don't have to worry about getting a quarterback if he shows you that he's capable of being a 2nd or 3rd stringer. Like, he might even be able to, battle Dobbs for 2nd string. Who knows? You know what I mean? So he stands out. Obviously, our guy, Terrell Owens, who's a legend of the 49ers. He's in my top 3 of all time. And I always say it's crazy that the 49ers is such a storied franchise. To me, we've had the top 3 receivers in NFL history play on our team at one point, and Moss, Rice, and Owens. Yeah, I mean, again, you see somebody like his son, and I don't want to just be like, oh, just go ahead and sign him and do him a solid because T.O. played there. No, if he has talent, he has talent. You know what I mean? He has talent. And then from what I've heard from people who were, who went and reported and stuff, he looked good. Like his route running was good. He looked physical, he had good hands. So again, that's another one where, if he's sitting there and you want to, you want to bring him in or whatever, I don't mind that at all. And I love that they have these little local pro days to give people who are kind of under the radar a chance to show what they got, because, a lot of them are not on TV, stuff like that. And then a lot of them aren't even invited to the combine.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like if you can get a local workout and then do that and your pro day, hey, show us what you got. So yeah, those are the 2 names that stand out to me the most. And like I said, it really seems like they're looking for a tight end, which is crazy because we drafted 2 last year. We gave a 4-year contract offer for $12 million to another guy, and then the Lions matched. We signed a dude 2 days ago, so I don't know if it's just for blocking, because we love to have that blocking tight end because we lost Charlie Warner, or like I'm curious, how does Braden Willis and Cameron Latu, how do they look? You know what I mean? Like, are you not high on them now after drafting them just a year ago? So it's gonna be interesting. What about you, Tony?
Yeah, as far as this list, I don't know if you guys recognize it, but there is another former 49ers player's son on this list.
Yep.
Stone's kid, Ron Stone's
Ron
kid.
Stone.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He was with the Niners from as a guard. But as far as like the players, like listen, I can't see anybody being drafted off this list. I'm gonna keep it real. It's not a knock against them.
Mhm.
This is how you build. Like in the season, you need somebody. You have these guys. You saw them work out. You have film on them. You have tape on them. You can watch it. Practice squad to fill out your 90. And Kellen Mond's there because of Kubiak, the Kubiak connection. Kubiak was a part of the staff in Minnesota when he was there. So, they called the agent. They need somebody to throw to these guys. They had one, I think, how many other quarterbacks were there? Just one, right?
Yeah, just one quarterback.
One other one, yeah.
So
Yeah.
you needed a second arm to throw to these guys.
Mhm.
It's a free look. It doesn't cost you anything. He comes in, tries out. They have it on film. Maybe they call him up and say, listen, you have an opportunity to compete versus Brandon Allen. This could be a cheaper option. You're saving $1 million here. You save there, you save here. It all adds up. But just real quick about the tight end talk. The sad thing is, in part of the draft process last year, Willis was a better blocker than Latu entering the draft. That's the sad point. Latu's the bigger guy. Willis is the smaller guy. Because of his size, everyone labeled him as the Delaney Walker type tight end. But to be honest with you, Delaney Walker, Latu, Willis got a lot of reps towards the end of the year. Special teams, he lined up as the third tight end several times. This could just be an opportunity. I'm going to be honest with you. The Salbert, the guy that they just signed, all these last-minute guys that they're signing, these guys are not top 51 eligible as far as their cap hits against the
bodies.
Cap. These guys are bodies to compete, right? They're going to come out of this draft. They got 10 picks coming in. They'll probably come out with 8 players. Maybe more. Maybe they might come out with 12 players. I don't know, but they need to replenish this roster to replace the deficit that they faced for the 2 trades for Trey Lance and CMC. That's why we're in the predicament we are right now, right? They haven't had a first pick in 2 years. They haven't had a second pick in 2 years. So, no, in 1 year.
One, because we had Aaron Banks, that other one, yeah.
So you're missing a first round in 2 years, a second and third, and then a fourth. All in total, you're missing 5 picks. Those are 5 potential players that, out of the 5, 2 of them could be contributors. So that's 2 less spots you have to worry about now. But so with that being said, roll the ball out there, let these guys compete, let the cream rise to the top, and that's who you roll with for your final 53. Whoever doesn't make the 53 has an opportunity to go to the practice squad, and that's it. And I'm telling you right now, don't be surprised if they add at least 10 to 15 undrafted free agents, because if they could find something that they did their evaluations on that are better than somebody that they signed on a low-end free agent deal, like Shorbert guy, like, not the day 1, day 2 signings, obviously.
Yeah.
But the pieces that they're adding in here. If they could find somebody as an undrafted free agent, guess what? They're going to let them compete. And if the undrafted free agent is better, guess what? He's making a roster.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I'm good with this where they're at right now. I'm happy because right now, if I asked you guys, what is your biggest concern? What is your biggest need right now? Where is the biggest hole we need to fill? T, what do you think?
I would say, well, if I could name 2, I would say probably obviously the right side of that line, and then who's our backup, and then our backup tight end spot, because I don't know who it is.
Miriah?
I'm going O-line.
Okay. Well, guess what? We have the starting 5 back that went to the Super Bowl. So technically, offensive line is not a massive need. The offensive line pick would be an upgrade selection to upgrade what you currently have. We agree on that?
Absolutely.
Well, guess
that's
what?
basically what this team needs at this point.
Yeah.
If tomorrow, I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. But if someone comes into that range and they take a player other than an offensive line, it's the same offensive line you had last year, and it's the same offensive line that went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I'm
And
not
that ain't
saying
changing.
it's good. I'm not listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying
Right.
it's good,
Yeah.
but it's what you had last year to get you where you want to be this year. So again, I'm not saying don't address the offensive line. Please don't say that. But I'm just telling you, this is the way this team operates. They fill every hole in free agency, and it gives them flexibility in the draft. I just hope this year they stick to that, and they stick to the best player available to make this roster better, instead of saying, oh, wow, let's take him because he's the biggest guy coming off the bus. He's the most intimidating looking, and he can run fast, but he's not ready to play in 2024.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, somebody like if we draft somebody like what is that? What's that name of that tackle from Oklahoma? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Guyton.
Guyton, yeah, like let's say Tyler Guyton. Even though I know how Shanahan thinks, and he's gonna go in there with like, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and start my starting five because they took me to the Super Bowl in the offensive line. Guyton can challenge Colton McKivitz for that starting right tackle spot. Do you agree with that? Like, I think he could be a definite upgrade. And Fernando, I read your question, but Demo and Lenore, it's the same person, my guy. I mean, that's what I'm reading.
I know what he's talking about, and we'll get to it in a
Okay.
minute. So
Okay, I'm stuck. But yeah, I think I mean, like I said, I think we're at a point now where and I agree with everything you said. Like, we're just gonna. I feel like we're gonna go best player available. I totally. It is funny. We haven't drafted a first round corner in a long time. The last one, and he wasn't even a corner. Last dude we drafted in the secondary in the first round, I think, was Jimmy Ward, right? And he was a free safety, converted in the corner, then went back. I wouldn't be
Ward.
surprised. I
It
think,
was
yeah, I think
Jimmy
he was the
Ward.
first. Yeah, and then before that was Eric Reed, and he was a safety. We haven't drafted a secondary guy in the first round as a corner, true corner, in a long time.
I
I
think
just have a feeling. Huh?
the last three
Go
were
ahead.
Mike Rumpf, Ahmad Plummer, and R.W. McQuarters.
Yeah, and that was back in the '90s. And then I think
Mhm.
Rump was the only one that was in the 2000s.
Mhm.
Out of Miami, and he was terrible. But anyway,
Mhm.
I just think that I think we're gonna surprise and probably even go corner. You know what I mean? Like just
Wouldn't
surprise
shock me.
somebody. Huh? I would. It wouldn't surprise me. But like I said,
Wouldn't shock
we're at
me.
a point now where I think they filled up all their depth. And you're right; these guys are bringing in these little tight ends and stuff like that. And I mean no disrespect by that. They're camp bodies. And yeah, I don't know, but like I think me and Miriah were both on the same page as far as like I think our biggest need, regardless of the starters, is still offensive line because I'm not comfortable with that. But I just don't. I don't know. Like I'm at a point where I don't know what we're gonna do in this draft.
yeah. Hashtag smile for the second giveaway. We're going to draw that in a minute. I know Tony has to get out of here shortly, so let's answer this question by throwback since you're talking about drafting a corner, and it goes right into this. He meant Charvarius Ward and Diamador Lenore are both on the last year of their contract. So if you could only extend one, which one are you extending?
Depend on the money. I'm going Ward.
Tony? I'm going
Are we
Lenore.
talking? Are we talking fan, or are we talking like general
The best for
manager?
this team.
They're the best player for our secondary.
Fan, I'm signing both of them. General manager business aspect side of it, I'm gonna go Demo. Age, versatility, injury.
Yep. He can play two positions. He's younger. He's going to probably be cheaper.
And
yeah,
please,
he's
it's not a
healthy.
knock against Mooney Ward.
No, it's
Mooney
not.
Ward had one
We
hell of a
drafted
season.
him.
Yeah.
Like,
Mooney
he's a
Ward had
drafted guy.
Mooney Ward had one hell of a season last year.
Yeah, I did.
What? 2 seasons of injuries, 29 years old, looking for a payday.
Yep. His last one probably. So
guys,
Yeah,
you
for
can't
sure.
have all high paid players, man. You can't.
And Demo, I think truly he's physical enough where he could probably get away with playing free safety.
Well, it's funny you say that.
Honestly.
It's funny you say that because now the talk is with Staley coming here, he's going to implement the star role, like the Jalen Ramsey role, the Derwin James role with the Chargers, that floater, like the guy that could play inside, outside. I'm telling you,
he tackles well. He hits. I mean, I think he can make a great free safety.
Watch.
That's just my opinion, though. But
you pay him.
I'm just going to tell you now, they're still sniffing around safeties in the free agent market.
They are.
Okay, that's number one. And a third, like I said in the beginning of the show, a third of your secondary is not under contract next year.
Yeah.
Yep.
So with the 31st pick, the San Francisco 49ers select what position?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it's, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if it's somebody in the secondary, but a corner.
And I'm not saying they don't need to upgrade that line, but when you have the opportunity to take a top 3 corner, ranking corner,
you have to take
a tackle that's ranked 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. You have to go with the corner.
Yeah. Because Tony, let's just say like
even for a defensive tackle.
Yeah, you're right.
If you're planning to move on from Hargrave,
you're right. Because let's just say we pick at 31 and we make no moves to move up or trade down. We're 31. You got a corner that's rated 23rd on your board, and he's there. Then you got a tackle, even though he might be a more immediate need. He's ranked number 35 on your board. Don't take the 35 best player at 31. Take the one at 23. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. My ultimate dream, my best case scenario is there's a quarterback sitting at 31 and the team moves up and grabs him and the Niners move back.
Oh, okay.
And they pick up picks. Now you're in the second round with 2 picks. You still have tackles available. You still have some solid corners on the board.
Yeah.
And then you go from there. Because to go from 33 to 31, you're not missing much.
No.
You're not. It's not like, holy Christ, we're going to go from 31 to 61. Like,
yeah, exactly.
No. You're still in that swing to get a impact player, right? An impact player. And when I say an impact player, someone that's going to contribute in year 1. Might not be day 1, could be week 3. So, you know what I'm saying? These tackles, like I'll keep it real because I got to go. Everyone is jumping on this Mims kid. This kid, and I'm going to be straightforward with you, I'm going to keep it real. He scares the shit out of me. And there's another player.
Is it a size, Tony?
It's not his size. He says 8 starts.
Yeah.
How are you evaluating him off of 8 starts?
Yeah, that's true. No, that's true.
Right? And then I seen Daniel Jeremiah. I respect him a lot. He's mocking Chop Robinson to the 49ers at 31.
I don't think he'll be there.
You don't?
I don't.
Why don't you think he'll be there?
I just think he just has like all the physical traits. He has the upside. He's one of those players that's like a top 20 pick, in my opinion. Do you feel the same way?
Remember this number 8 because it goes for both of them. And I'm glad you said that, right? He has 8 starts, Mims. And in his career at Penn State, he has 8 sacks. So tell me what you're getting.
You don't know. Yep.
That's where the draft is very tough. And I remember as a kid, Mike Mamula came out of Boston College. The guy had 18 sacks, I think, at Boston College. He was a pass rushing beast, wore number 59. He looked just like Bill Romanowski with the neck roll, everything.
Yep.
Played with tenacity in the backfield, all over the place. He went to the underwear combine and freaking blew it out of the water. Guess what? He was cut in 2 years.
Yep. Another Tony Mandarich. Another Tony Mandarich.
Drafted number 7 overall by the Philadelphia Eagles, out of the league in 2 years.
Yep.
So I understand the traits. The traits are golden. But in order to say I'm sold on his traits, there has to be something over here saying if the traits don't make the transition, this is going to make him the player, or vice versa. Like you need more than just traits on this roster.
Yeah.
Let's be clear, on this roster. If you want to keep that window open, because let's take it back, and I'll stop talking. I'm sorry. but I get into this
You're
shit.
fine. It's your time. I'm worried about.
Yeah,
It's 2
you're the
minutes.
one that gotta go.
Let me explain something to you. I remember when the Niners took, I can't remember what pick it was, maybe 26 or 27. They drafted Kwame Harris out of Stanford.
Trash.
And let me tell you something. That man was talked up to be the next Orlando Pace type pass blocker. He was a little suspect in the run because he wasn't as big as Orlando, but he was an excellent pass blocker coming from the West Coast and finesse offense with the Stanford Cardinals. And the man couldn't even get out of his own way, and he couldn't even block the flag that hit him in the face when they threw it for holding.
Yeah, he was terrible.
So, again, this is my point with traits. 6'7", 320, athletic, big physique, well, not sloppy. Where's the film?
Collie. Don't remind me.
Collie, there you go. Taylor Mays.
Yeah, don't remind me.
Let me tell you some story about Taylor Mays. My senior year, I played versus Brian Cushion was a freshman that played.
Yeah, that's right. He's from Jersey. That's
right. Yeah, played in some type of game that I was in. And Brian Cushion was an animal, but there's reasons why he was an animal. But great work ethic. The kid was raised in football. I played versus a lot of guys like George Martin's son, Jim Burt's son, Brian Cushion, Rich Scanlon, all guys from this area. I played an all-star game versus Chris Sims' kid. Versus Chris Sims. I'm sorry, not Phil Sims' kid. Phil Sims'
kid, yeah.
Not an all-star game, a camp game, a summer camp league we played in. And I forgot my damn point. Oh, I remember I saw Cushing in Jersey in the offseason, and I talked to him. And I mentioned Mays because I don't know, we were just talking about it. I said USC. I said, "Oh, who's your guys there?" Oh my God, Taylor Mays, this guy. Who's there with somebody else too? Was he there with who was that dude?
He was there with like Darnell Bing and
who's the wide receiver? Not
Steve
Mike.
Smith.
Was it Mike Williams?
Mike Williams and Steve Smith, and they had
actually, it was Steve Smith. It was Steve Smith.
Steve Smith, Kerry Colbert. Yep.
Steve Smith, and because Steve Smith went to the Giants, right?
Correct. Yep.
Yeah, it was Steve Smith because that's why he was here. He was chilling with Steve Smith, and he mentioned this guy Taylor Mays. And I'm not going to tell you what he said about me, but what he said about him. But
yeah.
The point of the story is freak athlete. That was it. He was built like a brick shit house.
Yeah, he was huge.
That
Tony,
was it.
I'll tell you something, and that's funny. He brought up Taylor Mays. I don't know if you know. I don't know if I ever told you this. He's the reason why I stopped buying football jerseys. He's the last 49er jersey that I bought. I bought him second round pick. Thought he was going to be a stud. And no, couldn't. He didn't know angles. He was just terrible. I'm just like, you know what? I'm done. And then like 2 years later, he was gone. So yeah, I haven't bought a jersey since then. That's why I don't buy.
I don't do the jersey thing, buddy.
Yeah,
no way.
All right, Tony. I know you got to get out of here. Next week, let's do. If you're free, let's do a draft show.
I'm in.
Yeah, you're in.
Okay.
I'm in. Just DM me, whatever. I'll give you my number. I'll give you my number in the DM. I don't know.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Sounds good, Tony. Take care.
All right. Thank you.
All right, have a good night, guys.
All right. You too. All right. Let's draw this giveaway now.
Nice giveaway.
Hashtag smile if you're not in there yet. Let's pull it up. Tony's the best. Yeah. And so next week, when me and TL do our regular show, we'll have Tony come on and he'll be all prepared to draft, and we'll have him draft as the GM. As the 49ers, and we'll see what players he's going to draft for us and why. Since he's already into his, into his draft season, he always makes a board.
Yep.
If you guys don't yet, make sure the Nothing But Niners, Mike and Tony, they always put on a hell of a draft show for the draft. We go live the entire draft. So if you guys haven't checked it out, make sure you do, because we'll definitely be doing that again this season. And yeah, Tony always has his board out there. He marks them off as they get drafted. It's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun. All right. Hashtag smile. Let's get these drawn. We are going to draw. Let me see. We're going to draw Drake Jackson first, and then CMC, and then BA. So this is for Drake Jackson. Good luck, y'all. Again, this is a numbered Drake Jackson rookie card.
Hope you feel better, Dawn. Maria.
Congrats, Maria. All right. Now for CMC fireworks. Good luck. Good luck. Look at all those beautiful pictures there.
Oh my
Look
God.
at that. Maria, clean it up.
Uh-huh.
She wins the most, and she ain't even a 49ers fan.
I know. She probably gets her cards and sells them.
Here, Maria, I had something here for you anyways that I'll add into your winnings. This sticker. Kansas City Chiefs sticker, just for you. I'll add it with your goodies when I send them out. All right, let's pick Brandon Ayuk winner. If this is Maria, she's going to get a hat trick. Chanel, Joel. Congrats, buddy. Congrats, everybody. All right, so let me set this up for the last giveaway. It's going to be let me show you. All right. Hashtag my QB for my quarterback. Hashtag my QB. So for the last giveaway, for those that weren't here, we're going to be doing the artwork card of Steve Young and Joe Montana. And remember, these are signed, numbered, limited edition, all that good stuff. We're doing Brock Purdy. Hype, baby. And we're also giving away this Talanoa Hufanga sticker from my guy, Inspector Dabbit. So yeah, that's for the final giveaway. Hashtag MyQB to get in there. Let me change this banner. Let me get stuff all fixed here now that Tony moved out. All right. Let me see. One more thing. We look all goofy with this background now. I don't like my shit looking out of whack, guys. You know. I need my two people one here. All right. Get us moved back. There we go. Back to normal. All right. Hashtag MyQB. All right. So today the NFL announced that they're coming out with a new policy. I don't know what it's called. Policy. So the NFL informed clubs today it has revised the uniform policy to allow teams a third helmet design. This expansion was offered to the teams that were going through the redesign process for the 2024 season and is now open to all clubs for the 2025 season. There's like a list of rules, whatever that the helmet has to follow. One thing that they did note here says, the memo notes, if either alternate color helmet is paired with a classic uniform, the helmet colors and designs must be historically compatible. So when we do our days, so right now, as it is, the 49ers only use one helmet design. Yeah. So they really need to get with the fucking times and give us something new as it is.
Exactly.
Like, teams are already expanding to 3, and we only got still the one same boring one. But if the times when we wear, like, we've been wearing those throwbacks, the, what is it, the
94s?
90, yeah, something. I like those are my favorite uniforms, those throwbacks with like the black designs around, the black lines around it. but they're saying like if we use that uniform, we can't come out with now a brand new helmet, like say a red shiny helmet to pair with that. Like you have to use your old school helmet that you once paired with that. But other than that, like you can come out with any design you want for any other, uniform days. If it were up to you, what kind of uniform? I mean, what kind of helmet would you add? Besides just the random, the normal gold one that we've had for God knows how long.
I like to see a white helmet. I think a white helmet. I've been seeing some designs on Twitter and stuff. Some of them white helmets look very nice. Like I would just love to see that. The white with the red logo. I would love to see that.
Yeah, a lot of the fans, they're coming out with all these awesome freaking helmets. Like the 49ers really like need to pair with some of these people, and give them the opportunity to make them a freaking helmet, because I don't know who designs the shit now, but maybe they fired that position and never hired somebody back, because like the uniforms haven't changed in so long, it's like always the same thing. Like I love when the teams, for example, the Bengals, when they come out with that all white, so they're all white with the black stripes and they got the matching all white helmet. Like they look so fucking dope out there. It's like the 49ers need to come out with something like always just the same gold helmet, the same uniforms. Like they took away the black uniform. They took, like give us something freaking new. Like you want to sell uniforms, make something new, like the same old boring shit.
Yeah, I think a white helmet will look very nice. And like you said, we need to get with the times, because some of these teams have some pretty sick uniforms. And when we wore our '94 uniforms, them things are clean. I love those. I love those throwbacks. Those with like a white helmet, man. And then wear like some like Jordan 11 cleats to go with them. Oh my goodness.
Throwback said the white helmet fits with the white 94 uniforms. Yeah, exactly. That would look dope. Obviously red. Yeah, I think a red helmet even, if they can pull it off to be looking nice. I'm just tired of the gold. Like even, Throwback talks about the gold chrome. Like I'm just tired of the gold, period. Like I know obviously that's one of our main colors, but like put it somewhere else. Like the whole fucking helmet doesn't need to keep being gold.
Yeah, Red Jet made a good point, because get with the designer of Oregon.
Yeah,
people don't realize the owner, Nike, Phil Oregon. Can you hear me?
Now, yeah.
Yeah, the Nike owner, Phil Knight, he went to the University of Oregon. So like he designed, that's why they have so many uniforms. He puts the money into getting them new uniforms all the time. But yeah, I think gold chrome would kind of clash with like, like if it's sunny and stuff, just shining off the helmet. I think that would probably be a distraction, in my opinion. I think it'd be a little bit of distraction, but I think the white would be good, because then like it'll stand out, like where your guys are, stuff like that. So yeah, I think white, or like you said, or maybe like a or like a red or something. I think that'd be clean.
This is true too, Leon. He says, I feel like every time they try something new, most fans trash on it.
It's true. Because like to me, I like those black jerseys that we had for a while.
Yeah,
I liked them. I like when they wore the all black. I think they were pretty clean. People thought, oh, that's not the Niners. We're supposed to be red and gold, and now you got black. Like, who cares?
Like an alternate uniform. It's not your everyday fucking uniform.
Exactly.
But yeah, they look clean in those. That all black at night games, especially. Like,
exactly. But no, Leon is right. They usually do have something to say, and it's not good. So
yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of fans, they're just, like we're on the other end of it, to where we're tired and bored of the same old thing. But some people, they just like the same old thing, like that's how they are. That's how they are in life in general. They like things just being the same. They like it being, I know it this way, and that's how I want it, Me, like I get bored with shit so easily. So like, give me something new. Give us something fancy. Like I'm tired of all these other teams rolling out there looking all fly, and our guys roll out there looking like freaking dorks, like.
Or like Miriah, like what do you think too? Like the Chargers, when they wear that powder blue, that looks so clean to me.
Yeah, I like that too.
It's so clean. Like you said, we need to get with the times, get a little bit more swag out there. You know what I mean?
Yep, I agree. Hashtag my QB for the last giveaway. Anything else you have that you want to talk about that we haven't talked about?
No.
Chat if you have any questions.
Yeah, no, I think I think I'm good. I think we covered enough. You know, we talked about the Ayuk situation because, like I said, it seems like the last week he's been talked about so much more. Like I think people are
Mhm.
getting nervous. I think it's funny about 49er fans, and I get it. Like you root for a guy, and then like when you start feeling some type of way, but still keep it real. You can still be like, man, the dude's a beast. I don't want to lose him. But then I get people now I've gotten some fans. I'm not calling out any names, but I've seen fans like all year. Oh, Ayuk top five, Ayuk top five. Now he hasn't signed a contract, and now he's asking for more money. Well, get him out of here because
Yeah.
he's not the number one. Like, come on, like keep it 100. Like now all of a sudden you're trashing the guy and his qualities and how good he is just
Mhm.
because you don't know if he's gonna stay or not. Like that's
They do
foolishness.
that with
Like
the same shit. Like a player will come available and it's like, oh, we want him. He's so good. He's so good. And then he signs with somebody else and they're like, he was shit anyway.
exactly, exactly. It's same thing with Sam Darnold. People trash on him, talking about he sees goals. Soon as I went to the Niners, that fool was Jesus Christ.
Yeah. They
Oh yeah,
wanted him to
be
start
a beast,
like
and yeah. So yeah, it's hilarious. I saw you post something the other day. I don't know what you were talking about, but it just made me laugh. I'm like, she must be talking about the Niner fan base because you were like, y'all cry too much. And I'm like, I don't know what she's talking about, but it's probably about our fan base because we're always complaining. Like you said, though, it's like it's funny. Like, just keep it real. Like, my opinion on Sam Darnold, it didn't change whether he was with the Jets, Panthers, or the Niners. I thought he was the same guy.
yep.
But people all of a sudden he put a Niner jersey on, and all of a sudden it's oh my god, he's gonna be a beast and blah blah blah. And like I said, I've seen people talk so highly of Ayuk all year. Oh man, if he got more targets, he's always open. Blah blah blah. He'd be top five. And all of a sudden you think, oh, he's asking, he's thinking he's asking for more money. And all of a sudden
Oh
he
no,
doesn't
hell no.
deserve
He's
it.
trash.
He don't deserve it. He's not even the number one option. And blah blah blah. Like, come on, Niner fam, keep it real, man. Like the dude's a beast. Just don't like I said. We broke it down one day when I think when Ty was on here, he broke down all the targets from like the Tyreek Hills, the CD Lambs and stuff
Hmm.
like that. Like they had way more almost doubled. Like some of these targets were like 60, 70 more targets and barely like 300 more yards. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Like that's why I said, yeah, you might not look at his numbers and think, oh well, he's not, blowing the doors off the hinges. But man, for being the 30th ranked pass heavy team, and for you to still have those kind of numbers is amazing. You put him somewhere else, he's definitely a number one, top 5 to 7 in my book.
I agree. You guys know my feelings on it, so
Yeah.
I'm keeping him over everybody. I don't give a shit.
That's your boy. Yep, for sure. But yeah, that's
All
all I
right,
have for today.
let's draw these winners. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. I need to make dinner. Speaking of, I don't know what I'm going to make yet. It's tough being a
My
stay-at-home
go
wife.
yeah, my go-to whenever I don't want to cook nothing that takes long, I make BLTs.
I love BLTs. I just don't
I
have no
just
freaking lettuce.
because I always have avocado, I always have
Hmm.
bacon. That's one thing I keep in my house is bacon, avocado, bread. So I'm like, oh, let me make me a BLT.
Yeah, I love BLTs. All right, hashtag my quarterback. There's 75 of you watching, and there's only 10 people in here.
Steve, I had a BLT for lunch. The things are clutch.
Yep. All right, so where's my little sticky thing? For these, we're going to draw. We'll draw the art of Steve and Montana first, and then we will draw Huff, the fungus sticker, designs by my guy Inspector Dabbit, and then our quarterback Brock Purdy. I love that they use like this because like we know exactly what he's doing in this picture, and the fact
Exactly.
that they use that with hype, on the side, I'm like, yeah, I love that.
Mhm.
All right. Let me see. Let me see. Good luck, everybody. Good luck. This is for the art.
I'll answer you in a minute, Steve-O.
Done.
Good job, Don.
Congrats, Don. All right, for the Hafunga sticker. Joel. Congrats, Joel. All right, pretty hype. Good luck, good luck, good luck. Joel with the hat trick today. Won 3 things. Congrats, Joel.
Him and Maria
Congrats,
killing it.
congrats. Yep. All right, y'all.
Having pizza tonight. That sounds good, Don. Oh man, that pizza thing that you tagged me on. I want to go try that in Summerlin.
That looked hella good.
It did. So Steve-O, I just filmed a movie in February where I was a paid extra at a restaurant. I was there for 4 hours. It was $75 an hour, so it was easy money because I didn't even speak. Yeah, $75 an hour. So I got paid
That's kind of acting I need.
Yeah, it's like $300 for 4 hours. So I just did that. But right now, I'm filming a movie called Mold Me. And I actually have lines, and I have a significant part where I played a husband, and I actually have I have like probably 10 lines. So I'm moving up in the world. So I did the first thing I did was a American Ninja Warrior. Then I did a couple commercials. And then the movie I filmed last year is coming out in June called First Haunt. So it's doing a movie festival right now where they're trying to decide if it's going to go to theaters or just go straight to apps like Amazon Prime, Netflix, stuff like that. But obviously you always want it to go to theaters because you get more hype, But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. Hey, like I'm happy regardless. So this movie comes out in June. So I'll be doing that, like I said. But the movie I'm making right now that we're in the middle of filming right now is Mold Me. And like I said, I have a significant part in that. So yeah, that one obviously we're recording it now. It won't come out for like another year because that's what movies do. Every movie you see in theaters was filmed a year ago. So that's just the way it works. Yeah. So yeah, I'm doing good. I'm excelling. I'm growing. So
pretty soon we'll start giving away TL's autographs for the giveaway. So you guys can collect up and say, I knew him before he was rich and famous. All right, fam. That's all we have. Tomorrow I'll be back with the Two Goats show, me and Steph Sanchez at 3 Pacific time. And then, like I said a little bit ago, we'll be back next week with Tony, and we'll get prepared for the draft, and we'll do a draft show. And then before we know it, the draft will be here. So,
I will,
Miss Debbie.
I will.
Please give a heads up when they drop.
Yeah, so the movie that's coming out in June is First Haunt, and I'll let you guys know. I'll put it on Twitter and in the chat and stuff like that. The other movie that I made is called Torch, and that's not going to be out for a while. That one, or Mold Me, won't be out for a while. But First Haunt in a few months. Hopefully, it doesn't get pushed back, or they need some stuff. But yeah, they're looking at like sometime mid to late June. So yeah, I'll let you guys know for sure.
Awesome. Nice. Chat, appreciate each of you guys for being here so much. Those that joined us new, thank you so much. Hopefully we did enough to get you to come back next time, because we truly appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Chat, you guys have been awesome as always. You guys keep the chat going. You guys keep the show going. We don't have near the show that we have if you guys weren't here. So greatly appreciate each and every single one of you for being here. And yeah, we'll be back next week. We'll have some more giveaways. I got some more fire coming. I think next week, I was going to give it away today, but we'll just do it next week during the draft. Miss Debbie had given some towels from Wayne Breezy. So we'll give away one of these beauties next week, Faithful to the Bay, with my guy, Wayne Breezy. So yeah, we'll give away one of those next week, and then some more fire. And then yeah, I'll be back tomorrow with Steph. I hope you guys have a rest of your great week. Have a safe and wonderful weekend, and we'll see you guys next time. We're out of here, Faithful.
Just take care, fam.
Much love.